Hi, everybody. My name is Ariel Clifton, and I am a member of the STEM Connect team. And I'm here with Cecily Davis, my fellow team member from STEM Connect. And Cecily, would you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Ariel. Hello, everybody. My name is Cecily, and I am a student success coach with the STEM Connect department on campus. I have been with the district for quite a few years now, up to about, I think, 13 or 14 years in between Estrella Mountain and and I have been a success coach for the last 5 years. So I have a lot of experience with navigating the student resources and a little bit more in depth with the student center. I thought it was important to present on the student center because there's so many great things that exist in the student center that a lot of students aren't aware of, or they are not jumping in there to navigate and realize all the services and resources that they have available to them. So sessions like these, being able to present this material is something that I've always been excited to do and comfortable with doing, because there's so much on the student end for you guys to see and learn about and to continue to be aware of. So I used to facilitate presentations on the student center, and then just understanding the college process and college lingo. And the student center has always been something that students have benefited from walked through, and not just knowing that it's there, and knowing when am I supposed to use it? When do I go in there? A lot of the time the classes are being held through Canvas, which is what you will log into to access your classes, do your homework, communicate with your instructor. But the student center is just there, and it's not really clear on when to log in and how to use it. So I'm going to be presenting on that, and I'm starting at the my.maricopa.edu screen because this is probably the most popular website that you would utilize as a student. On this screen, there there's several services that you'll be able to get access to just on this screen with all these different widgets that are here. So it starts with some basic things at the Maricopa site, and this is as it relates to all 10 of our Maricopa colleges. So you can start at this site and it will eventually link you to GCC if the service is directly with GCC, or if it's within Maricopa. So you have academics, how to pay for college, information about financial aid, different services amongst each campus, and the support that you have, different tools you can utilize, how you can get involved on campus or within the district, and where you can get help. And that's usually like technical help or any student services help on each campus. But like I said, my focus today is to go through the student center, which is down here with these widgets that, or icons, they used to call them widgets, that you can access with your student info, requesting a transcript, finding a class, adding a class, checking your grades, all these different things we're going to see when we get into the student center. And then some of them are just through these icons that you can access on the my.maricopa site. But like I said, my focus today is on the student center. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the student center, take me out to the area to sign in. And you will be using your MEID to sign into your Canvas or campus computer, or logging into your official student email account. So when you sign in, it looks just like this. I am utilizing the account as you would see it as a student. And usually when you log in, if you are enrolled in any classes, it's going to show right here in this area that I'm just, pointing out here with the cursor. You will see a preview of your schedule as you are enrolled in the current semester. If you are not enrolled, it will look just like this. Or if you're enrolled in a class that has yet to begin, then it could also look like this, or it will only show the classes that you're currently active with. So it might show two classes that you're active with, and then the third class isn't showing. And that's when I get the question like, oh, hey, when does that late start class begin? Or I don't see my class on my schedule. And that's usually because it hasn't came around time for it to be an active class just yet. So I'm just kind of pointing those things out. When I walk through how to add classes to your account, then I will point out more details about the preview of the schedule that you do have. So over here, I just want to start on the right-hand side, because on the right-hand side that they're questioning either things like holds, and a student might contact me and say, hey, I have a hold on my account. And a hold can relate to, it can relate to the district altogether. Maybe it's a visa hold for citizenship purposes, or something that the whole district needs to know about the student. So if a hold shows up like 10 different times, like this hold that I have here on this account, it's called limited services. It's going to show up 10 different times because it's being previewed at all 10 Maricopa campuses. So if you're accessing a service at any of our campuses, they're going to see that the hold is being placed at all the campuses, no matter where you admit or register. So you can always view the details of your holds here with this button, and the details, like I said, they're just going to go a little bit more in depth with what the hold is, and it's at all the colleges, like I mentioned. It's going to show you that, and then just to see, well, what is it for? And it's going to just let you know something. Well, it's a financial hold, and this hold is on the account of $15 due now, like past due balance on there. So there might be limited services that you have. If it's something that there could be holds that prevent you from doing any activity on your account. And that activity is a little bit more towards if you have the ability to add a class or drop a class or request any official records. So holds are, those are, what's it called? I'm sorry. Admissions and records will be the department that you'll contact for any holds on here. And that's a good starting department to find out what you need to do about the hold. Going down into your to-do list, this typically has to do with financial aid, but it can also deal with other areas too. For example, if you have a to-do list item, it could be something in regards to taking a placement test, or meeting with an advisor, or turning in documentation with admissions. But this is usually in regards to financial aid. So if you have applied for financial aid, it will let you know if there are any additional to-do list items that you need to complete before your application for financial aid continues to process. So one thing that I hear a lot from students as they're getting information about financial aid is that they applied and they don't know what to do now. They don't know the status of their application, or they haven't inquired about it, or they didn't hear anything back from it. So when they're applying for financial aid, you're just applying for the application. But that's still separate than your connection with your account here at the school. So after you apply, the school receives your information, and now they're wanting to, there's a possibility that they will need to verify information that was submitted in the application. And that's verifying information as it relates to what we have on file for you as a student. So the to-do list usually happens to do with financial aid. And for those of you guys who do apply for financial aid and not sure what to that next step to take, just view your to-do list before you contact financial aid. That way you can see, okay, what can I do on my own first? And if there's questions that I have where I need confirmation for something, then I'll contact financial aid. This next section is called enrollment dates. And this is whenever you will see if you are eligible to enroll to another semester. So we have open registration and priority registration coming up in April. If you are eligible for priority registration, it will tell you in this enrollment date section, it will tell you if you have the eligibility to enroll. And if you don't, then it will tell you when your date is open to enroll. And that could be the open registration date, which is just a couple of weeks after the priority registration date. If you are a current student with us and you're looking for the information to enroll in the next semester, you will see it here and it will give you the date for priority. If you are not a current student with us, but you've admitted and you've done all your to-do list items and you want to know when you can enroll, then it will give you the date of when open enrollment is. So this is important to check too as you get closer to those dates of preparing for the next semester. The next area here is your advisor. So if you have an advisor that is assigned to you, their name and information will show up here. If you do not have an assigned advisor, then this would be a good opportunity for you to question who your advisor would be and how do you get an advisor assigned to you. Usually your assigned advisor is related to your program plan. So if you are specifically following a route that's in any of our fields of interest, then you will get an advisor that is associated with that field of interest. For example, I am the advisor and success coach for the STEM Connect department, and I am assigned here on students' accounts the same way that any other advisor will be assigned there. The next section is student resources. Now, this is really cool because if you have questions in regards to things on campus or on the district website or related to another Maricopa college, then you can access any of these links and it will take you out to those areas and websites that you can get more information about. So student resources to show you it back out to the modern tutorial student and how to access training on logging into your Canvas or IT or technical issues with your student email and things like that. So that's just going to bring the page again, our district web page. Programs and degrees. It is our curriculum site. This awesome because if you are interested in a program and you want to know more information about it, even where it's located within Maricopa or the curriculum and classes that are required to follow that program, type it in here and it can be anything related to just the title that you know that you want to do, and maybe you don't necessarily know the degree title, but you know what the career type is. So if you want to be a pharmacy technician, and that's what you know for the degree type, but you don't know what it's called, what the program to go, so you can just type in pharmacy technician here and it will tell you what colleges and programs. And then this one's kind of awesome because if you have to take an advanced level of sciences or math related courses or anything that is program specific and you don't know what it's about, for example, if it's astrology and you're not sure that you know everything that you're going to study, then you can just type in the course here and it will bring up information about the class. So for example, I'm just going to bring up a course that I commonly am going over with students, and it's called different. It's meant to go over that type of information. The core competence that you expect to know after you read, as well as the course will be areas. Sometimes I share this with students if they're questioning the content of a course or what they're going to learn in a course. So I'll go over that, and then they can, a student, you can basically take this topic or subject area anywhere online and see an idea of what you'll be going through. So I just wanted to point that one out, and then go back to the student center, because this is a really good source for, like I said, if you wanted to know more about a class, and it's available right through your student center with programs and degrees. Student life, information are
You're breaking up quite a bit.
oh, okay. Let me turn my um, as long as I know how to video. Oh, stop video. Right? Is that what I should select? Okay. So with going back to student life, a very popular way to get involved is with student activities or student clubs on campus. And there's many club options that you have to get involved with, and it's a great way to network and meet other people and even share similarities with other people who are following the same program as you. So that's and then the last couple areas on here, this is student center help, how you can access tutorials and little videos and things that you can look over to get information on how to look up a certain subject area in your student center. And then this last one are our other links. These have to do a little bit more with financial aid. So in case you're asking, you're wanting to apply for financial aid, but you don't know the website to go to, and you want to make sure it's the right website, then you can come down here and select apply for financial aid, and it will give you the correct website, because there are false websites out there. And this is the free application, and you don't have to pay, which you don't have to pay for. And then some of the false sites out there are requesting money. So just as a tip to let you know, you do not have to pay for financial aid or for the application. And then I just want to specifically this 1098T tax statement. This is a link that's pretty important for those of you who are filing your taxes and you want to get that credit for, for the school for going to school within the last year. And this statement will be accessible through here if there's some information that needs to be verified by your tax accountant, and then they will use this statement to apply to your taxes as you're getting those all filled out. So this is a district form. It's not a direct financial aid form. So or a direct like business services, like contacting our cashier office or business services office. This is more of a district form that is available to any student that participates in any of our campuses. Okay. That's all the right hand side. Oh, and then this last one up here, this is where you can search for classes. And that's you a little bit of how you can search and add classes on the left-hand side. So up here in the middle, you do have access to your official student email. And for those of you guys who already access that, you already know that you see communication from other classmates or your instructor or district. They did just include any communication about your education within this student email. So all of these updates or important information that you need to know about will just go through your email. Now, your email is cool because you can actually link it to a personal account, because some people don't like having all these different things to log into. So you can actually just link it to a personal account so you can both everything in one account. Or you can use this email as a personal email if you want something additional to have as a personal email. Now, this is where you can check your class schedule on the left-hand side under the academic section under enrollment. The first few links here are pretty important because I know a lot of students use these links when they're doing self-service options. So you can view your class schedule and print it out yourself or screenshot it or take a picture of it to have access to the start and the end dates of your courses, the location, who your professor is, the length of time that the class is going to last, whether it's in meeting time virtually, or the length of class from January to May, or the summer time frame or the fall time frame. So I will show you how my class schedule looks after we actually add classes. So the biggest thing that I get from students, like I said, the most popular ones are adding and dropping classes. And these are things that you can do on your own without needing access or needing to call in or talk to your advisor. Now, if you need a little bit of guidance on how to do it, or if you're adding the right classes, then sure, you can easily, schedule an appointment and connect with your advisor. But if you just want to try it out on your own, you can access it here instead of having to wait in line over the phone or physically in person. So to add a class, I'm just going to click here, and you can, if you knew the class number, the 5-digit course number, then you could type that in here, press enter, and then it will bring you directly to that class. If you do not know the class number, then you would want to hit search down here so that you can search more with it being English 101 or math 120 or something like that. So I'll show you more on the search section on how to find class. Here it brings up 2 different fields. This is pretty much the only thing to pay attention to here. Not know the subject code, like how to look up the code, because you don't want to come in here and just type in English. You need to know the acronym or the code. So English is ENG. And then down here in the second field, you're going to type in 101 if that's the course that you're going to be for. If you don't know the subject, you can also hear subject options, and it will give you all the codes on how to get the subject for any class looking for business or English or astronomy or geology, anything like that. You can select here to view only open classes, or you can take that off and select all classes. If you just leave it off, it will show you everything that's closed, if it has a wait list, or if it's open. I like to leave it off just to see what all my options are, although I don't have many options in classes that are closed, but I would have options in classes that have wait lists. So I'm just leaving it off for now. If you were to expand these searches here, searching by the day, the time, or the instructor, then you can access all of the information to a class by being a little bit more specific with your search. So you can select a time. I only want to see classes that start 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. because I work after 1 and I'm not usually up before 10 or something like that. So you can put in a time frame if you would like, or you can say only show me classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Or you can do Tuesdays and Thursdays, or if you can only take classes on Tuesdays, then just select Tuesdays. We also have Saturday classes if that's an interest to any of you. You can search by instructor's last name. You can even change the name to say, well, I don't really know how to spell the last name exactly, so I'm just going to hit the option to say anything containing these specific letters. So you can literally just type in something, or if you don't know how to spell it, as long as they contain the letters that you think this instructor's name is, then that's where you can select that. Okay. I'll leave that blank for now. And then as you search, like I said, a little bit more, you can make it very, very specific. You can even look up designations. For example, some of you guys may have heard terms like, oh, you have to take another humanities or another culture class or global awareness class. Then you can look up just that one designation by just specifying what you need to look up under general education designation. And then you can specify here if you need to find a cultural class, and or if you even need to find an honors class, something that's honors. So these give you specific areas to look up. So I'm just going to keep it simple for purposes and just find English 101. So I'm going to hit search, and it's telling me, okay, if you leave your search option, leave your search open, you're going to be looking at classes that are more than 50 options. Would you like to continue? So I'm just going to say, okay, let's continue. I'm okay with looking up classes that are a pretty lengthy search. Once you find classes you have, you can look at these little icons right here, and it will tell you, it's like a little cheat code on how to look up the course information, or how to know which courses are open, closed, or waitlisted. Now, if a class, I will not be able to get into it. So if it has a box, it's not available. If it has a waitlist option, then that means so for example, this one here is waitlisted and it's the only option available, and waitlist yourself into a course. Then green, which is all open classes. Now the downfall with having everything open is because if you see a green, but it started in January 19th, and you're like, wait a second, that was, a month ago. You're not going to be able to get into this course just because it's open. It's just open because the system sees that the class capacity has not reached its capacity of 24 students, for example, or however many students. So it's still going to appear as open. So if you were to go back and modify your search, which you can go here, you can modify your search or you can start a new search, but I'm just going to go back and modify my search. So now I do want to see classes that are just open, and then I want to, let's see here. I'm just going to do open classes. I think there's a way you can actually put in the date you want the class to begin, but I'm just going to leave it open for now and then start. So then it's starts, but keep going until you find something that's a late start. And it doesn't look like I'm getting lucky with this. So just for the time that we have today, I'm going to go ahead and search for a class that is a little bit more easier to practice with today and add to the schedule. So I'm going to search Sociology 101. I see a class right here that starts March 22nd and it's open. So from this search, you can select the class and add it to your schedule from here. So when you select the class, it's giving you a little bit more information. So it's telling you that it's 3 credits. It's telling you right here that it's a social behavioral class, and that's what it's going to count as. And it's a lecture style, but it's online. So the biggest thing that I'm going to get out of this information is that it's a social behavior. It's 3 credits, it's open, and it's online. This is the professor, and you can go with that professor, or you can look for another one if you have any recommendations. But then in the details here, it's telling you that it's an 8-week course. So it starts March 22nd. It's only 8 weeks. That means that they're going to be taking a 16-week course or a course that typically runs 16 weeks, and they're teaching the same material, but they have less time to do it. So that probably means that I need to know that I'm going to be a little bit busier with a class like this because I have less time to complete the work. So if I have a question for the professor before I want to add this class, it does provide us information down here. And this is something like, hey, I see that you have a class that's open. I just want to know how the class is structured, or what would you say about its level of being challenging, or anything like that. And then it's also giving you more information here, like what you have to be prepared for this class to take this class. So webcam, speakers, microphone, you have to have internet access, things like that. And we'll click next to continue adding this class. And this is giving you an option. It's saying that Sociology 101 has been added to your shopping cart, but then you can come down here and add other classes before you continue on with your shopping cart. So in here, I'm going to search for one more class to show you a little bit more of how to get through more classes and how easy it is to just go back and forth with your account. So I see Communications 100. It's online, but it's Monday, Wednesday, 8 to 9:50. So that means it's live online. So I have to actually participate in this class at a certain day and time. And here's the professor. It starts March 22nd. It's available. I'm going to select it. And then again, it's going to give me all the course details. And then I'm going to hit next to continue to add it to my shopping cart. So now it gave me a check mark saying that Communication 100 has been added to my shopping cart, and I can proceed to step 2 of 3 if I'm fine with this and I only want to add 2 classes. So I'm going to proceed, and then I get this a lot where students stop right here because they think it's been added to their account, but it hasn't been. This is giving you the option to confirm your schedule before you do add it. So make sure to continue on through and hit finish enrolling. Now, this is going to give you the confirmation. If you receive a check mark, cool, the class has been added to your schedule. If you receive an error, which is a red X, then something is going on where it's not able to add, you're not able to do self-enrollment. And that could be not meeting a prerequisite, or needing permission to get into a class, or something else. But usually it's pretty easy to get into a course self-service wise, unless there's something else you need to do to verify your eligibility to get into the class. So from this area, I can either proceed to payment options, or I can go back and add another class, or I can just view my class schedule. What I want to do is view my class schedule. So viewing my class schedule, right now, all of my options are selected to show my enrolled classes, to show my dropped classes, or to show classes that I'm waitlisted for. Now, if you want to filter that, then you can take out some of the things that you don't really need to know and just show the classes that you're enrolled in. So with this, again, just duplicate information. It's going to show the 5-digit class number, the days and times, or the delivery type being online, instructor information, as well as the start and the end date, so you know when the class is going to be beginning, because it's late start. Another important area to pay attention to are these deadlines. Deadlines let you know what dates you need to abide by for getting a full refund, or being able to self-service drop, or needing permission from an instructor. So these drop dates right here, the class starts on March 22nd. So that means I only have until March 26th to change my mind about this class, to full refund, as well as it not appearing on my transcript. And then I have until April 12th to decide if I want to drop this class before I need permission from the instructor. So April 12th, I can just go on here on my student center and drop the class if I want to, or withdraw the class. And if I wait until after that date, then I need instructor approval. So I'm going to close out of this and I'm going to go back to the beginning of my student center. Looks in their shopping cart now that it's active on here. So this middle part, again, this is what I was saying, that if you're in a class and it will show here, if it's active, it also shows here. If it's something that starts later on or in another semester or later down within the semester, sometimes it won't appear here. It just depends on how close it is for that class to begin. So now you also have access to that little link for deadlines here, so that you see that you can just access what that deadline schedule looks like, and also because it's important. So that was the process on how to add a class. Then I'll go through the process on how to drop a class, but I just want to run through a couple of these other links since I'm looking at the time and I want to make sure that some of this other stuff is talked about, and then come back to dropping a class. It's really simple, just the same as adding one. You're just getting it off of your schedule now. With your classes, you can view your textbook information here online. It will tell you which courses has a textbook associated with it and how you can access or purchase it at the campus bookstore. So when I click on textbook information, it brought me back to my schedule. But I have to actually click on the summary here at the top. It's a small link, so it's not as noticeable. Information. I like this because it tells you what the information is as the ISBN number in case you want to purchase it somewhere online and not necessarily with our bookstore, as well as how to access the book as the used price, as the new price. It's an option, which is electronic. And I over here with if it says choice, the book is a choice to get, and sometimes you can wait for the class to begin and then the instructor can confirm if you're going to need the book or not, or you can talk to the instructor emailing them through that area that I showed where you can contact the professor. If the book says required, then I highly suggest of purchasing the book before the class begins. And if you're not sure how to do this in person, print this and take it to the bookstore and they can show you where you can how to access the book. But that's an in-person scenario. Coming up to, let me go back to the home page. Okay, so I click on Student Center to go back to the home page. It's always best to go enter link if you need to go back home. You press the back button, it's not always guaranteed that you're going to go back to exactly where you need to be. So it's better just to stay within the student center and use the links that are functional here. So the next area that I want to get to are your grades. You can actually view your grades through here. If you click on grades and you just completed a semester, then it will show your grades after your professor has officially reported your grade. This will not be the in-progress grade of your class. This will just be as it's posted officially. Then your Maricopa Student Progress, you can view classes that you've taken at any Maricopa college. I'm not going to click on this one here because this is a full account, so I'm just going to leave that one blank. But you can always click on My Student Progress to see your grades, where you took the class, what semester you took it in, and what else? And then how many credits you would have taken. Verification is pretty cool because if you're applying for a job, going to another organization and they want to verify your academic record, then you can request an enrollment verification to be processed through here. And this will verify anything from your degree status to your enrollment status to the classes that you've taken in the past, or just if you're a full-time or part-time student. Sometimes enrollment verifications are required for insurance purposes, and you want to verify test scores. You can always access your placement test scores. So if you did the placement test or our EdReady test, or if you sent in your ACT or SAT scores, or even your high school GPA, all of those scores are accessible right here through your student center. It's a drop-down menu here. This is a very popular drop-down menu because students ask me all the time, how do I access my transcript? And you can access your official transcript through here. If you click on the link that says request transcript, it will give you the option for the transcript to be official or unofficial. There's a few other interesting links in here as well. But at this time, I'm going to leave this part up to you to navigate through to access, but you can view more information about what your advisor noting in your account. How do I look at my progress to see how close I am to getting my degree? Or how do I plan out my pathway and put classes in here to see, to show what semester I want to take the course? Or how do I process what if I applied for a different degree, or I want to see the status of how close I would be to completing another degree. So multiple things in there. Finances, this is super important. I see students or I hear students all the time wanting to know about their financial aid package and how much they're receiving. So in here, you can look at your financial aid status with these view financial aid, or and to access the amount that they're receiving for your award. Or you can simply just access information here. Basically, $15 that's due, or how much is going to be due for these classes that I just added. So this is where you can view an account statement to get those details. If I want to pay for my classes, it gives you another link here, payment plan options, or how to manage my payment plan. So you can click on there on how to apply a payment to your account, and you set up a monthly payment plan. Your personal information here, you have to change any information as long as it's something that go by a preferred name, emergency contact information, or you can view information about your own account, your demographic data, and you can access where your student ID number is, your ME ID, or your mailing address, your cell phone information that you have all access to change here online. If you officially want to make changes to your name or any other data, or your social, or something that is not accessible for you to access on here, then you can just go through admissions and records and they'll update your personal data. This one's pretty cool because if you're interested in taking a class at another Maricopa school and you don't know how to do that or how to apply it, then you can just apply for admissions right here. It'll take you out to another site to log in to process enrollment or process the admissions through any of our sister colleges, and then it will pop up here as a number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 stack, and you can go up to all 10 different Maricopas. So that's where you'll be able to admit to another school, and then you'll be able to access adding classes as well as soon as the admissions is posted on your active programs that are here. And then this is also the area where you're going to see what program am I in. Right here, Associate of Arts. But if you're following anything that is specific, then it will show here. And if it's not correct, you do have the ability to change that. You can either change it through admissions and records, or you can access our Maricopa site to add or update your program plan. But staying on our student center, the last thing I want to walk through in just this last couple minutes is how to drop a class. So I'm just going to go in this link that says to drop a class. And this is where you can easily select which courses to drop. If you want to drop 1, 2, or your whole schedule, maybe you changed your mind about starting classes this semester, or an emergency situation came up. So you can select these and then drop selected courses. And then this is another section saying, well, let's confirm your selection. And this is to have you double check that you're dropping the right courses, because I run into situations where students drop the wrong course. Then you're going to finish dropping. And it's going to give you either those check marks again or an X in case the drop did not go through. If you want to go back and confirm with from admissions, then you can call to confirm that you dropped the correct courses or that they were officially dropped. That is the quick way I can get through the student center. The best way that I find easy to, or just easier to do, to show some of the basic features here. If you want more in-depth information, then that's when you can access your student center help, or you can contact somebody from admissions, or even talk with your advisor. So I am going to leave it at that for today. And if you have any questions, I pointed out where to go, but I'm going to go ahead and end the session, and thank you for participating.
Thank you, Cecily, and thank you for everyone who is watching the replay. And be sure to reach out and let us know if we can assist you.